So we just finished watching the unveiling of the Switch,
Yes. Or the NS.
formerly known as the NX.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to say first?
I mean, that trailer was exactly what I needed it to be. I don't need the games list. I don't need any of that. That can come, right? This thing's coming in March. That's fine. I can wait for the games list. I just wanted to know what the fuck it was finally. Because
officially.
They've been dangling that in front of us for like a year and a half now, being like, oh, we'll talk about it later. It's okay. So we got to see what it was. And it is the home console and handheld hybrid.
Yes.
I wanted to see how it was going to play games. And it is going to be cartridge based, which is fantastic to me. I'm super on board with that because cartridge means super low load times.
Super low load times, and it also means less wear and tear.
Yes, because you know what? The 3DS cartridges, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Though I've played a lot of 3DS games, never had a single issue with any of the cartridges.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you literally hammer a nail through them, probably not going to break.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, or, dump it in a thing of water.
No, we had those two at the game store I work at. The Animal Crossing that went through the washer and dryer.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
The front cover of it's all fucked up, but the game itself still runs perfect.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I got to see exactly what I needed to out of that trailer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it was a perfect, even for a 3-minute long trailer, that was...
Yep,
it had enough information in it that I'm satisfied.
Yeah. The only thing I probably might have liked to have seen would have just been the price point.
Yes.
But based on how all the rumors that have come out have been true so far, it's probably going to be the $299, and then there's going to be the $349 or $399 bundle version.
Bundle. Yeah, I assume that's probably going to be like the thing with the dock.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be... Well, over here it's going to be $399 to $450 to $499.
Probably.
Because we're in Canada,
yeah.
So it's usually like $100 more here.
Because stupid Canadian dollar is stupid.
Well, let's be fair here. Even when the Canadian dollar gets closer to be on par with the US dollar, the price of stuff doesn't go back down.
Yeah, exactly.
Once they raise it, they're like, your dollar's still bad. It's like, no, it isn't.
So they showed off a couple types of controllers for it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the two slidey controllers that are actually attached to the screen.
It looks like it
almost looks like the
initial
gamepad.
one. The initial
the first one was the you slide it into that
it's like
controller dock.
Big brick thing.
Yeah.
That kind of sits in there. That looks a little more awkward. It looks a little more like a Dreamcast controller or like the original Big Duke.
Yeah,
Xbox
I mean
controller.
it would have to be one of those things where you probably have to try it to understand how exactly it fits.
Yeah, it just looks like it just looks big and bulky on screen.
Yeah.
It might actually be much smaller in person.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing they showed off too, which I was actually kind of surprised about, was the fact that you can take out the little slidey things.
The grips?
The grips. I don't know what they're calling them.
Grips.
You can use them on their own. You don't have to have them plugged into something if you have them detached from the from the screen. And the other thing I found really interesting was the fact that you can detach them and two people can use one for certain games, because they had it where the two guys were playing Mario Kart and they were each using one side of the controller, and the NBA one too, with the group of guys playing it and stuff, that was really cool.
So one of the cool things is so I do work at a game store, so do you.
Yeah.
And I get asked all the time as people come in and they say, what can I play that's local multiplayer on PS4 or Xbox One usually?
Mm-hmm.
And I say, do you have Minecraft? And they go, that's a kid's game. I don't want Minecraft. And I go, do you like Lego games? And they go, no. I'm like,
there's a couple out there.
There's a couple, but it's it is basically Minecraft and the Lego game.
Yeah, yeah.
And you do get the random one every once in a while, but
you got Diablo and stuff like that.
And I'm like, and that's the other one I point them to. I'm like, do you play Diablo? And they're like, I already own that. I'm like, okay, well, I mean.
Whereas a good chunk of the stuff they did show in the trailer was, actually a good chunk of it was single player only. But there was some multiplayer stuff in there. But there's a bunch of different ways to play the multiplayer games.
The big thing is though that I always tell people, I'm like, you know, the PS4 and Xbox One have basically worked really hard to kill off local multiplayer. Most games that are played multiplayer on those consoles, you need your own console.
Yeah.
It'll have co-op, but you need to have your own Xbox or your own PS4 to play them. And I'm like, even Halo, and people always shit themselves. I'm like, yeah, Halo 5 doesn't have split screen. And they go, what do you mean Halo doesn't have split screen? I'm like, it doesn't have split screen. They took it out. They're like, but Halo always has split screen. I'm like, yeah.
And not this time.
Not this time. So, the nice thing I saw about the NS is...
Why do you keep calling it that?
Because it's the NS.
It's the Switch. Just call it the fucking Switch.
I could. But the nice thing about it is it does have only 2 people can do split screen.
Mm-hmm.
However, I did read online that if 2 people bring their Switches...
You can, like, link them up.
You can link them up, basically, and do that 4-player multiplayer experience on 2 different NSs.
Without an internet connection. They just kind of talk to one another.
Yeah, they will do local multiplayer that way. So that's really cool, because especially if you're doing it... Because you can do that feature with just the little tiny screen. Yeah. So you can just always do a wireless, like, 4-player co-op, like...
Yeah.
Together, even on the road, which I think that's a fantastic...
Yeah, that's really cool. The other controller they showed too was, so they're coming out with another Pro controller style thing.
Another...
Like, it looked like an Xbox controller.
Just a normal controller.
Yeah, exactly.
They're coming out with another standard, which is fine. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I actually would probably prefer that in some situations.
So another thing they showed, which it's a really, really small thing, but it makes me kind of happy, is they have that little paddle in the back so you can just sit the controller.
Yeah, a little stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's really, it's kind of just one of those small quality of life things, so you don't have to lean it up against something, all that kind of crap.
Yeah, no. Well, I would have, frankly, I probably would have, gone to Japan and slapped them if they didn't have some kind of little stand.
Knowing some companies, they'd be like, "No, you got to buy an extra attachment.
Got to buy this hard plastic stand."
The seamless mobile to TV gameplay thing was really cool. The fact that they just plugged it in or pulled it out and it's just right on the TV.
Now that I'm curious about is how instant that really will be.
I mean, it probably won't be take it out, it's right there. It'll probably take a couple seconds for it to properly read that's what I want not on the television. See. But the fact, though, that you don't have to turn off the game or turn off the system or something, then unplug it, then turn it back on,
you just kind of pop,
is really nice.
You just pull it out.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like, okay, home menu, go over a couple tabs, send data.
Change settings and all. Yeah, exactly.
You just pop it out, which is really nice. Surprised me was Skyrim being on there.
Yes.
I actually didn't expect that one.
I was very surprised by that one myself. Skyrim was on there.
Which I think is super cool. It doesn't even need to be the HD version of Skyrim. I think that alone could be a crazy point.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably expect it to be the HD version just because that's the new version.
Well,
that's what they want to sell.
We don't know how powerful this thing is yet because they still haven't really released the specs. So it could just be as strong as the Wii U and it's just really embracing portability instead. Or it could be, I don't believe it'll be as powerful as the PS4 or Xbox One, because if it does have a portable, the portability to it, it kind of can't be. But it could be around the same.
Well, because it's possible to, again, they haven't gone into this, but, the actual dock might have some extra processing power.
Yeah.
Which means that if you have it in the dock, you get the full HD experience. Whereas
when you take it out, 720.
Because that was actually one of the things that I noticed, and I don't know if this is because most of the people probably weren't actually playing the games and stuff.
Yeah.
But when the guy was playing Breath of the Wild and he took it out of the dock and he was walking his dog and stuff like that, the frame rate did seem kind of weird.
Well, you might be thinking of the point in time where he's charging up the arrow in the air.
Yeah,
that's because that actually is a.
It goes into slow mo. Yeah. I understand it goes into slow mo, but the frame rate did look like it dropped. Now I don't know.
The big ogre guy getting up looked like he had a slightly lower frame rate.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was on purpose to kind of maybe show off that it's a little bit of a downgraded version or something like that, but
it might be, or it just might have been.
Or it could honestly just been because It could just be the video didn't, work correctly or something like that too. So other games they showed off other than those two. So you have Mario Kart, of course.
Which, interestingly enough, it's essentially Mario Kart that you got on the Wii U.
Yeah.
It's not a straight up port.
Oh, it's not?
No. It is the same game, but it looks like it's been tweaked and redone up a bit. Because on the right side, the right player's screen, is King Boo.
Oh.
And King Boo isn't in Mario Kart 8.
Well, okay, yeah. I guess maybe they're adding extra characters or something.
And maybe some more tracks, and the fact that it's then coming now to the Switch means they will most likely continue to support it on with more tracks, more karts, more racers, more DLC in general, beyond what they initially had planned.
Yeah.
But the fact that King Boo's in it is interesting. And I believe I did see some new items, I think I saw 2 different items.
See, I wasn't really paying attention that closely, so...
Even the Splatoon.
I was just like, Mario Kart, yay!
The Splatoon they showed, that's redone up a bit. That's been touched up.
That's it?
The Splatoon, or at least from what we saw, I'm like, that's not quite... It looks a little crisper than the normal Splatoon that we have right now.
Okay. The other one they showed too, so they had an NBA game. Didn't really say if it was 2K or EA, but I noticed that 2K wasn't on the list of developers, so it's probably
the fact that we have a sports game shown is pretty big.
Yeah.
Because if the NS really wants to push, it's gonna be tough to break that. If it really pushes local multiplayer, that could be a massive second win for sports games again.
Yeah.
Especially if you can take them on the go, which we'll get into that feature a bit later. But that could be a big second win because that's what made sports games really awesome on original consoles. Like N64, I played the shit out of them. GameCube was being able to play with 4 people.
Yep.
All together in the same room, not needing to be online. So I think that could be a really big second win for them. Even though sports games already do super well, just for couch co-op.
Yeah. And then the last one I have down here is that new Mario 3D game.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that was coming.
Well, yeah, I know they said they're planning on doing another Mario game, but like the thing I found interesting was the fact that it wasn't, Mario 3D World or anything like that. It looked like a different Mario game.
That's what we knew though, because once Cat Mario came out, Miyamoto, I believe it was Miyamoto, said he's like, we're not gonna put out another Mario game on this. Like, we're gonna save the next Mario 3D Adventure for whatever our next console is.
Yeah.
And at that point, they still hadn't been developing the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
It was still, they were trying to make the Wii U the big thing, and they were like, we're just gonna save them for whatever. So I mean, that team's been quiet, working away on something, which is this Mario game. Interesting enough, Retro Studios, the guys who did the Metroid Prime trilogy, have been super quiet since they released Tropical Freeze.
Yeah.
And there's been a heavy push from the fan base being like, where's Metroid? Give us Metroid, blah, blah, we want Metroid.
Well, it seems like it'd be a good game or a good system for a Metroid game.
Exactly. So you might be seeing a new Metroid coming.
Yeah.
You might not.
We don't know.
We don't know.
But getting on to that, though, so they also released a giant list of developers that are, and publishers, I guess, that are working on games for the Switch.
Just start at the top.
Should I just go through everything?
Just read the whole list.
All right, 505 Games, Activision Publishing, Arc System Works, Atlas, Audio Connect, Autodesk, sorry, Bandai Namco, Bethesda, Capcom Codemasters, CRI Middleware, DNA, EA, Epic Games, Firelight Technologies, From Software, which is super interesting.
Very.
Frozen Byte, Game Trust, Grasshopper Manufacturer, Gung Ho Online Entertainment, Hamster Corporation, Havoc, Inti Creates Co., Koei Tecmo, Konami Digital Entertainment, Level 5, Marvelous, Maximum Games, Nippon Ichi Software, Parody Bit, Platinum Games, Rad Game Tools, Rico Choku Co., Sega Games, Silicon Studio Corporation, Spike Chunsoft, Square Enix, Starbreeze, Take-Two, Telltale, THQ, Tokyo RPG Factory, TT Games, Ubisoft, Ubitus, Unity Technologies, Warner Bros, and Web Technology Corp. That is a big list.
It is a big list. Now, we should definitely mention the Wii U had a big list on its launch as well.
That's true.
So this list might be a big list right now, but that might dry up real quick if this doesn't sell.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what happened with the Wii U. Then again, people, EA, crapped out a bad port of Mass Effect 3 and then said, oh, nobody bought it.
Well, I guess the Wii U was a failure.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, of course nobody's going to buy the third installment of a trilogy that's heavily story-based.
That had, the worst frame rate issues in
the
that
had, the worst reviews. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not EA... It's not their responsibility to sell Wii U's. It's Nintendo's.
It is, but, I mean...
And they're going to support a console as long as it makes sense. And if the... Or even Rockstar said it. They're like, you know what? They're like, we will support the Switch as long as it makes sense to. Yeah. If it sells, we will put games out on it. If it doesn't sell, why waste your time?
Yeah.
It's like Ubisoft. People with Rayman Legends, right? They were like, I saw a lot of hate going towards Ubisoft when they delayed Rayman Legends.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, well, what the fuck? Why aren't you releasing this? This game's done. It's ready. It's like, yes, but Ubisoft is the only third-party developer that stuck by the Wii U and launched a good amount of... They launched shit on the Wii U.
Yeah.
But none of it was selling. They weren't making their money back. So, of course, they weren't going to just pop out Rayman Legends as an exclusive to the Wii U. If they could see from everything else they'd released already, they wouldn't make their money back.
Mm.
They were like...
We got to release it on other systems.
And Xbox had that dumb rule where... if it can't come out second on Xbox or something, right?
Yeah.
Where it has to come out at the same time.
However, I think that rule's changed.
It might be now, but back then it wasn't.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, then what? Are you going to release it on just PS4 and the Wii U? Then you're losing out on all the Xbox One sales. So at the end of the day, Ubisoft made the right call as a business.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks for gamers, and I like the Wii U, but they made the right call for themselves. And I think these third-party companies will do the same. They'll test out the Switch. If the Switch doesn't go anywhere or doesn't pick up steam, that list will very quickly dissolve again.
Yeah. Very true. So I guess the one other thing I kind of wanted to get into was what wasn't in the trailer that you're kind of hoping to see.
Price point. That's it.
Just price point?
Like I said, we now have all these months between literally today to March to see the game library.
Yeah.
That's fine. I can spend that time being like, oh cool, what games do we know about now that are going to come out for the Switch that they couldn't say is coming out for the Switch beforehand?
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that. I just wanted to know exactly what the console would do, how it would play games, and how I would be using this thing.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to know right away.
So yeah, it's the same with me. I was kind of hoping for price point. I was kind of hoping for maybe a little bit more of a solid date on release instead of just March.
Yeah.
I mean, at least we got the month. But the other thing, it's not so much that I'm disappointed we didn't see it, but more that I'm surprised they didn't show it, was Amiibo support.
Yeah, they actually, yeah,
Because I was expecting at least even just a little hint, just somebody tapping an Amiibo just for whatever reason, for during Breath of the Wild or something like that. Because it seemed like they were well, I mean, they still kind of are really pushing Amiibos.
They are. They've already said that
stuff.
Amiibos will be used with this console.
They did.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know.
Or at least I remember them saying that. I could be wrong.
Unless it's also possible that could have just been a rumor too.
No, the Amiibos are such a money-making machine for them.
They are for them, but I'm still kind of surprised that wasn't just... And it doesn't have to be really a feature, but something in there saying, hey, Amiibos.
Yeah.
Right? So...
Yeah, no...
I mean, it would make sense for them, too, because they've already said that the Amiibos... they're making those new Amiibos for Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. And they've already said what they're going to do.
Yeah. So... Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? We might be finally getting, a Skylanders or a Disney Infinity for Amiibos with this thing.
Maybe.
And they might just save all Amiibo-related data for that. Now, I doubt they are doing it. Because they've seemed to be like, oh, we don't need to do that.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is that they already have the amiibos in the market. It seems like kind of the perfect way to get people into it.
No, I would love it. Because I think that's the thing Amiibo needs. Is it just needs something else. Like, everybody bought the Amiibos for Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Because the Amiibos for Smash Bros. Had a real purpose. Mm-hmm. They were designed for Smash Bros. Initially. And then they've been trying to shoehorn them into other games that they weren't designed for. And they've never had, like, any purpose in any other game beyond just being like, oh, just change your appearance.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big problem with them. And they came out with all the Animal Crossing ones that have not
Nobody
sold.
Buys, yeah.
Like, my store's full of them. Your store's full of them. Like, nobody bought these Animal Crossing. Because they couldn't work with Smash Bros., which was a cool feature. And they could only work with Amiibo Festival, which nobody wanted.
Yeah.
So the only people who bought the Animal Crossing Amiibos are the people who wanted them to sit on their shelf.
I mean, there were a couple other games that had a decent use for Amiibos. Like that Kirby game that came out was pretty good. The one where it's like, I can't remember the name of it. It's the one where it's Kirby's like the Play-Doh.
Yeah.
But like if you tap a certain Kirby amiibo on there, you get certain powers that you can use and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and then I mean the remake of Twilight Princess had some uses for them too. Plus on top they had the extra one which gave you that extra dungeon. So, I mean it's still not like really big gameplay mechanics or anything like that. It's just little bonuses of like, refill your hearts once a day. Or
the best ones that we saw were the Splatoon ones, where they actually unlocked like 30 stages each.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they weren't stages; they were more just challenges. But
it was still gameplay.
Yeah,
like it was extra gameplay you got. It was almost like in a way like DLC in physical form.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's basically what it is. And that does get on a lot of people's nerves, though, because that's DLC that's on disc, that's ready, it's done, it's on the disc they purchased, but then they can't access that disc.
I mean,
it doesn't bother me, because if it's a cool amiibo, I'm going to buy it anyways.
But, and on top of that, too, most game companies do that anyways. Yeah. So.
Now, what do you want to see happen with the NX?
The Switch.
The Switch. We're calling it an NX for like a year and a half now.
What do I want to see happen with the Switch?
Yeah, like what games out now would you like to see? What do you hope for this thing? Like what do you want?
Like you mean ports and stuff?
Ports, games that are in development right now, like Final Fantasy 15. What would you like to see from Nintendo?
So Metroid for sure.
Yeah. Do you want a side-scrolling Metroid or like a Metroid Prime?
I think a Metroid Prime. Would be good.
Yeah.
I haven't had one of those in a while.
With their local multiplayer style, you could get like Metroid Prime local multiplayer going again.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. I honestly would not be surprised if we see probably like a Borderlands or something on there. Because I mean, I know that that 2K was trying to get into the mobile market with the Vita.
Which I do love the Vita.
Yeah.
I do actually like the Vita more than the 3DS, so I'm all about handheld gaming.
Yeah.
Like, I love it.
The fact that Skyrim is on there, I probably wouldn't be surprised if maybe there's a port for Fallout.
Yeah, I was really surprised to see the Skyrim.
Yeah.
Like, that just was the one game I was like, Skyrim? I was like, really?
Yeah.
Like,
honestly, for me, like, I don't need to have the big AAA titles and stuff on there. No. Because for me, a Nintendo system, I want to get it for Nintendo games. I mean, there would be a bonus of having, like, third-party titles and everything on there that I could play. But, I mean, that's what I have, my computer for. It's what I have my PS4 for. Like,
I was surprised, I think, mainly just to see it in, like, their announcement, like, their reveal trailer.
Yeah.
And the fact that...
but in a way, I understand it too, because they
that's going to be a big thing for people.
That's a big thing for people, but then on top of that too, they don't want... I think they want to kind of show that there shouldn't be the fear of... Excuse me. This is basically going to be a first-party machine like the Wii U was.
Well, that's
they wanted to show that we have that third-party support now for this system, so we can kind of now be in that console race again.
Yeah. Like, portable Skyrim, that's huge for a lot of people, because there's a lot of people who love Skyrim.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I like, now that it's like more portable and stuff like that, I
wasn't gonna buy it.
Probably would pick it up.
I wasn't gonna buy it HD.
I've never been a huge fan of Skyrim.
I'll buy it as portable. I don't care. It gives me something to play on the go.
Yeah, exactly.
The fact that From Software is in their list of developers, we don't know what they're making. You might get ports of the Dark Souls games.
That'd be cool.
Portable Dark Souls, that'd be huge, because Dark Souls has a massive cult following.
Yeah.
And if they can take their Dark Souls games on the go, that'd be big.
Mm-hmm.
They might not be Dark Souls. They might just be like, oh, we're just making something new, but you might get Dark Souls ports.
Now, the other thing, too, that you mentioned when we were discussing this yesterday was maybe the possibility of doing like an LTE network style thing. So you could be
I don't know how they're going for it, but the fact that Splatoon, which is basically online only, is coming to the NS. That means there might be some kind of, internet capability outside of just, wireless. There might be some kind of 4G or LTE. Who knows? That's just speculation.
Unless they have some sort of local community, like a LAN system.
Yeah, exactly. It might have the capability of doing that, but they might retool Splatoon a bit to give it more local multiplayer functionality.
Yeah, true. They could do like bot modes and stuff like that.
Well, maybe not bot modes, but the Splatoon that we have right now had almost no local multiplayer functionality. And the fact that
gotcha, yeah.
They showed them off playing it with the screen on the ground with the little mini controller and stuff, right?
Exactly.
Means they've retooled Splatoon enough that you no longer need the gamepad to see the map underneath you to then tap on the map of where you want to teleport to.
Yeah.
You can just play.
Yeah.
So they might retool it to be now you can do 4v4 or 2v2 online or local multiplayer. Just have massive Splatfests yourself now locally.
Yeah. And
I think it's interesting that came out with Splatoon and Mario Kart, because they both stopped DLC for that a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now, well, actually, they said they stopped Splatoon DLC a while ago, but I heard that a new thing just came out recently, which was weird, because I was like, you made a big announcement being like, oh, no more DLC's coming. But they also stopped DLC for Smash Bros. A long time ago.
True.
And you're not going to get a new Smash Bros. On this thing. It's going to just be the current Smash.
Yeah.
Retooled. But if they're doing that for Splatoon and Mario Kart, where they're adding new things into the base game, will we get all the DLC and maybe a couple new characters and stages into the base game of this this Smash Bros. Retooling port we're going to get? That could be a big thing too. And I expect to see things like Bayonetta, because, Platinum is on that list.
Yeah.
So I expect to see the Bayonetta 2, which Nintendo paid for.
Bayonetta 2, possibly even a Bayonetta 3.
Yeah. It's like Nintendo paid for all these things on the Wii U, and for the majority of them, most likely did not make their money back.
Yeah.
Wonderful 101, still my favorite thing on the Wii U, probably, behind Smash Bros. I had so much fun with it.
And it did terribly.
It did terribly. And I loved every minute of playing the game. It wasn't going to blow my mind. It wasn't Game of the Year, but I just had fun playing it. So if they might retool that and put it up. Tokyo Mirage Sessions might get a retooling and put back up.
I hope so, because I really want to play that.
Because, once again, Atlas is on that list.
Yeah.
And
possibly Persona 5.
Maybe. I think P5 might be too far into development for them to just turn around and be like, oh yeah, and it's launching with... I mean, it comes out in December.
I mean, it could just literally be a port.
You might get one down the road, but Atlas is on that list, so that's a big thing. Lots of anime studios.
Yep.
So lots of, JRPGs, which this, sadly for the PS4 is the only reason I have a PS4 is for my Japanese stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing that I really am kind of hoping for with it, too, is the fact that it is cartridge-based. I'm really hoping for backwards compatibility with 3DS games.
You might, but the 3DS has the second screen.
It does, but, I mean, the screen is big enough, I think they might be able to just split it.
They might.
Or maybe do it, I don't know. But, it would be nice, though, if I could, instead of having to get... because what is the purpose of them having 2 mobile consoles?
The same purpose there was having the DS come out when the GBA was out.
Well, yeah, but then that kind of after a little bit that replaced the GBA. That's like the transition between generations.
That's what I think this is.
I think the new Pokemon is literally coming out like what 5 months before.
Yeah.
This new system comes out, unless they do a port, which I mean is possible.
And I think they were already working on this Pokemon game before they found out about the Switch.
I guess, yeah.
Because once again, Game Freak's not owned by Nintendo.
True, but I still really want it.
Well, you can get Sun and Moon. But there is the rumored Pokemon game coming shortly after.
Yeah.
And so the next big thing I wanted to mention was, how do you think this is going to do? Because I don't really think the Switch has potential to go really well. I don't know if it's going to take off in North America, just because North America has really seen the death of handheld devices. I think if this Switch does not do well, that will be the swan song for handheld consoles in the West.
See, I think at first it might be. Well, no, sorry. At the very beginning, it'll be big because I mean the Wii U was really big at the beginning too. I think then it will probably slow down a bit because a lot of people, as you said, the handheld market is kind of like dwindling in the US. But I think if they decide to then go all in and literally replace both the Wii's and DS's with this system, that will make it pick up again, because you're gonna have a ton of people who are gonna be like, I want to play my Pokemons, I want to play my Fire Emblems, all that kind of stuff, and they're gonna have to get it on this new system.
That is exactly correct, and the handheld market is also the dominant one in Asia.
Yeah,
like by far.
Yeah,
it's not even comparable. So it'll do super well. It's still
like, but like I mean, even still, like I mean, DS's right now, and it's mostly from all the Pokemon hype and stuff. Just we cannot keep them in our stores.
No. The Pokemon itself, all Nintendo has to do is come out and say, "Hey, this is Pokemon." Bleh and bleh, and it's Switch exclusive. Like, if you want this Pokemon game, you have to get it on the Switch.
Yeah,
and I think that will just. Because, I mean, Pokemon always sells, like, 30 to 40 million copies each.
Exactly.
Like, they just do. Those games just print money, and that's all Nintendo has to say. So I think that'll get the Pokemon crowd. And it's going to do really well in Japan, where mobile is the way to go. What I'm curious about in the West is a lot of people who play handheld are younger kids and people our age who grew up with Game Boys.
Yeah.
Those younger kids, though, will not be trusted with a Switch to take portably to school with them.
No, but I don't think... I mean, so I don't really think that's the design of it for them. I think the design of the Switch for them is when you're at home, you're playing it on the TV, or you're playing it, like, mobily if your parents want to watch TV or whatever. I think the design of the mobility of it for them, though, is I want to take it on a road trip. We're going to the cottage. We're going to grandma's house. Like, something like that. They want something to play in the car.
Yep.
So bring it with you in the car. Not take it to school and stuff, because I know for a fact, like, just from all the stuff that we dealt with in elementary school and stuff, like, once this thing comes out, schools will be like, no, it's banned. Yeah. You can't bring it.
Yeah. Because, you know, the
Switch... But that's not the design of it.
The Switch is perfectly designed for me.
Yeah, no, for me too.
It's absolutely perfect. That's all I need. So, I'm super looking forward to it. Gonna buy it. I'm going to buy it day one.
I probably will too. I'm like, once the pre-orders are starting, I'll probably put a pre-order down on it.
Because I love handhelds. I love mobile gaming like that. Not phone gaming. Hate that kind of gaming, but...
Oh, there's certain phone games that are fun.
I love 3DSs. I love Vitas.
Yeah.
Love that. So I'm super pumped to see that it is what the rumors are saying, because that's everything I wanted from it.
Yeah.
I don't need another, like, normal home console. I've already got my PS4. It can play Blu-rays or anything that
it's just now that you have the option of making it as a home console, you can use that, right?
Exactly.
So, which is nice too.
Yep. So I'm pumped.
Me too.
I think it's gonna be a good one.
So I assume once we, actually do our gaming podcast with other people, we could probably discuss this a bit more in depth and get more opinions from other people and stuff too.
Mention it again. We won't go as in depth as we just did, but We just wanted to kind of talk about our thoughts about it because it literally just came out. Plus, catchy ass song.
It was a good song.
Yeah, it was catchy.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. See you later, maybe. Bye. Dragon Quest Builders, that better come to it.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.